Okay, so we are live. Hello and welcome everyone to the day 7 of ML Math Clubs by TFUG Ghaziabad. We are gonna wait for some minutes to let our attendees join. Until then, you can write your greetings in the chat. So let's start with the session, guys. Today we have Akash Kansal in our studio. He is a graduate from NIT Kurukshetra and currently working as a data scientist in Valiant Solutions. He will be talking about the adventure of data detectives and all these secrets that are hidden inside the universe of the data science. So let's welcome Akash to the stage, and Akash, the stage is all yours.
Thanks, Madhur. Thanks for this. Hi, everyone. As Madhur has already introduced, but let me just tell you that uh, I did my bachelor's in engineering from NIT Kurukshetra back in 2014, and for 8 years I've been working in data science and consulting. And I had taken a small break around 1.5 years just to because of some personal reasons to give care at my home. Right. So today's the reason why I chose this topic in for today's session is uh, I myself am a student of data science. I have been pursuing almost there to complete the diploma in data science from IIT Madras. A lot of concepts actually they are very detailed, but sometimes we lack out the clarity or the depth of the topic. Right. So this session is aimed at uh, the highlighting the importance of that depth of the concept, right? So I have tried to keep it a little interactive in a way, right? We have a some questions will be asked, so we have a Google form, and we have a Kaggle dataset as well, in which we'll be performing some basic level of analysis just to see how we can play with the data and utilize it. I hope some of you or most of you must have listened about Mr. Beast, who is the biggest YouTuber, right? He overtook the T Series channel, right? So all these things lie ahead. So if there are any questions, we can take them during the session. Otherwise, we can take them at the end as well. Right, Madhur? Okay. So now let's start. As I told you, I myself am a student, but this through this session, I'm aiming to impart some of the knowledge that I have. So these are the contents that I want to cover. The first one will be introduction to data science. What is data science? Why do we need it? And is it just an entirely new concept that has come in today's life, or was it always existing? Right. So, to answer that question, I'll try to link it with our day-to-day lives, right? And then I'll try to attach it with the data science process that we have. Again, everything covered in this PPT. It's not thumb rule, right? It's all data science is a very subjective matter, right? You can find the standard contents, but you won't find the contents which you need to follow. You can take your own path, but this is just a recommendation of what should be followed, right? So after covering the data science process, which basically has the steps, we'll move on to the importance of data science. And here, this is going to be the biggest section of the presentation of the session, right? Where we want to analyze the mega YouTuber Mr. Beast, and how he's using data analysis to you know be smart in creating his videos, and how what we can learn from it, right? Then again, we have like being thankful to the people who made it possible. There is a publicly available data set of Mr. Beast YouTube video stats. It is available on Kaggle, and I have tried to do some kind of basic analysis to see how we can get very interesting insights from the data. After that, we'll be moving on to the importance of data science in the industry. We'll see how it links to the, because at the end of the day, we all want jobs, right? We want money. Right? So how this data science can be applied in the industry, and how is it being currently used, right? And then the last topic that I want to cover is more of like for the people who want to get into the depth of things. uh, for them, mathematics is the subject which is must, right? Which is most needed, because mathematics is kind of the backbone of data science, right? And I was also when I started into this data science field, I also wanted to use the abstract things and all. But when I started to learn it, I learned the importance of going into the depths, right? So I will try to cover this. So before this, a very big thank you to TensorFlow User Group Ghaziabad for organizing this, and for coordinating this. Thanks, Madhur. So let's move on. Yeah. So before this, I just want to ask a few questions, and instead of putting them all here, I just listed them down in a Google form, right? The form link is available in the chat, and if
I have
possible,
also
please
linked that
fill.
in the description, so you can access it there.
Yeah, so please fill out this form so that we can have an interactive presentation or a session. And if you guys want, like Madhur, is it possible that we can create something of that sort for questions as well, or we are taking the questions in comment section only?
Yes, we people can post their comments, like questions in the comment section itself.
Okay, okay. So let us wait for 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and please fill this form. Everybody who is listening to this. Okay, so I guess we have waited long enough. So if anybody's, if anybody joins late, probably they can hop onto the comment section and fill this up. Let's move on. So moving on to the first topic, how uh, how data science is seen in our day-to-day lives, right? So first, I have already introduced myself, so not sure if we need this. Uh, Moving on to the definition, as stated by the University of California, Berkeley. So, data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, processes, algos, and systems to extract knowledge and insights from structured and unstructured data. We'll be covering structured and unstructured data later, and I hope almost all of you understand data. It's a collection of facts, basically, right? So, two words here are worth highlighting, which is the knowledge and the insights, right? So, the aim of data science is to extract knowledge and to gain some insights from the data. Let's see how we can have some real life examples from which we can, uh, get some knowledge and create some insights. So I think this is one thing which is very popular nowadays, and I think this is going to be popular, which is health tracking. We all want to monitor our calorie intake, and people who are very much into it, who are very much into keeping their living a healthy life and all, they have a inbuilt process of this analysis, right? Sometimes they just remember it, right? But you can also keep a track of this data, and you can also try to have some insights on this data using data science, right? We all do it, we may be doing it, but we don't know it's data science. Yes, we can link it to data science. So this is one of the example, calorie intake. We can monitor the calorie intake and we can extract some useful insights from it. Second is, which is most important for the students, the time management, right? We don't know how sometimes we end up giving more time to the activities which don't usually need much time, right? And especially the students who are, let's say, preparing for competitive exams, or who are aspirants, basically UPSC aspirants, or plus one plus two aspirants, other people preparing for gate, right, after their bachelor's. So time management is very crucial for students of every stage. And uh, I think that after the student life also, this time management becomes very important for the working professionals as well. So we can use many data science principles or the data science processes in our effective time management. This is something, grocery shopping, this is something that we all do, especially the students who are living in the hostels, right? They have to do their own grocery shopping. And let's see how we can link data science processes to grocery shopping. And last one but not the least, this is actually very common in every household, right? Making tea. Um, right, so let's move on and let's analyze all of them in a little bit of detail, right? So before that, linking it to data science process, let me tell what is the data science process, the step by step guide. Again, this is not a very thumb rule. This is all subjective thing, and it may change depending on the presenter. So in the data science process, the first step is the data collection, right? So let's say, if you want to monitor your health rate, then the data collection would be, you will have to collect the data regarding the calorie content of all the foods that you're eating. How much calories are there in one chapati, let's say, right? So that is our data collection. uh, in technical terms, we can call this as a primary data, the secondary data, and automated data collection. The smart watches that we use nowadays, they are an example of automated data collection. uh, Data processing, again, when we have collected the data, we have all the data, but it's of no use. Let's say some data is lying in your register, you have written it somewhere. Some data is there in your Excel, you have it in form of organized tables. Some data is in a PDF. So We just want to process all of it so that we can get a data repository where now we have all the necessary data which we can use for further processes, which is the data analysis. Right now, from here, the process of analyzing the data starts. Right up till now, we have collected the data and put it into a usable format, but the real work starts here. Most of the time, and the case study that we'll be covering, the Kaggle data set, it already has the data collected, it has the data processed. We'll be kind of doing data analysis into it. The main component of data analysis are exploratory data analysis. We can also perform some of the statistical analysis. We will see a very famous test for chi-square, right? So for those who don't know, chi-square test is a statistical test that we can use to see how two variables are they dependent on each other or not. So we'll go into the detail when we do the Kaggle case study. Then we can use some machine learning concepts as well, apply them once the data is in a ready format, and then again, visualization. It's a very important tool. We should never underestimate visualization, because most of the decisions, the business decisions, are taken depending on the they see the visuals, how their business is going. After this, we have the knowledge extraction. The knowledge extraction is basically the step in which we want to interpret the things that we have analyzed already using data analysis, right? In this, we can, if we have created a model, we want to interpret the model. Or we can, if we have created a model with some features are basically the variables, independent variables. We can also see, in knowledge extraction, we can also see how, which features are most important and which are very lesser important, right? So and then pattern recognition again, that is what most of us do in our uh, day-to-day analysis. Then the last step, I would say, is the insights in the decision making. um, I would say that for a business, this is the most important thing, and and this is the step which actually makes you take any actionable thing, right? For example, if we go on to the go on to the example where you want to track your health, then there, let's say, if you reach at a conclusion after studying the data, you reach at a conclusion that, okay, I won't eat more than 10 chapatis a day. So that is a decision, right? So before reaching that decision, what data science tells you is that you should follow this process. That is a systematic way, right? So reporting, decision making, actionable insights, and then evaluation. After this, we can also keep one block for feedback, and then doing repeating this process again. But I have not included that here, right? Just for the sake of simplicity, because most of the audience is the students who are let's say entering into college, who are first second year students. So that's why I have kept it simple. Now let's link the data science process to our day-to-day life example that we had studied earlier. So the first example was the health tracking, right? So how can we use the data collection? How can we link it to the data science process? So the first point, which is the first step, which is data collection. I can collect the data on my daily food intake, obviously. Then I will collect the data based on the calorie content of everything, of every chapati, of every lentils, of every vegetable that I eat. Or if I eat meat, I will also uh, see the calorie content and collect the data on it, and the nutritional information as well. Because when you are, let's say, dieting or something, you want to keep your body working right, working fine, and for that you need a bare minimum amount of nutrition, macronutrients and all. So for that, you need to collect that as well. Now here, let me tell you the difference between the structured and the unstructured data. Structured data is something which you already have handy, right? For example, let's say uh, I have 30 to let's say 15 grams of protein in one chapati. That's a fixed data, right? And you know how you can utilize it. But let's say uh, for unstructured data, the example that I can give is let's say a feedback from a user, right? Or a feedback from somebody who's eating the chapati, right? That you are putting less water in this chapati or something like that. Basically, which cannot be utilized directly is the unstructured data, right? Uh, then next is the data processing. I want to make that data usable, and the most common example is organizing the data or keeping the data into a table. A simple, very simple table. It's very easy to handle, right? And from our data processing step, we can just keep all of our data into a uniform format, which can be used. For example, to let's say for this health tracking example, we can clean the data. Clean the data would mean that if while collecting the data, some errors may happen, right? Maybe a numerical field, which is a number, it may be followed by a comma or something, which shouldn't be the case. So that is what we mean by cleaning the data. Then we want to organize it into a structured format, right? That we have all the columns handy, so that we know basically how uh, what kind of data we have, so that we can end up doing the data analysis, which is the next step. So in the data analysis, what we can do is we can, let's say, see how our let's say I have my data from for 1 week, which is from Monday to a Sunday, right? And from the data that I've already collected, what I can calculate some of the KPIs. KPIs is the key performance indicator. Some of the KPIs that I can calculate is what is my average daily calorie consumption. Let's say what is being suggested by some of the concerned authorities is 2000 calories per day. It's the ideal intake, right? Something beyond that, it may lead to your fat increasing. Something below that, it may create some problems for your health. So we can this is one of the KPI, average daily calorie consumption, right? Then we can also look at the distribution of micronutrients. How much is the sodium growing? If you are a patient of high blood pressure, then obviously you need to monitor your sodium levels, right? So you can see how your sodium levels are going through the week. Are they increasing? Or maybe on a weekend, right, when you want to have some paratas, or you want to have some chicken, right? Maybe sodium levels increase on that particular day, right? So that is what comes under the data analysis. Then I can, obviously, when I have the data, I can apply some of the algorithms to see what are the correlations and some of the other trends. Then comes the knowledge extraction. I can extract some of the insights, what should be the calorie optimal calorie distribution. For what do I mean by the optimal calorie distribution is, let's say, if in a week you have decided that you will exercise on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, right? Then it is possible that on a Sunday you can have more than needed calories, right? Because on Monday you know that you are going to work out. Maybe something like that. That can be a way to have optimal calorie distributions, right? Sorry. Then you can also identify some trends, right? Again, I come on to the third example of the weekend, because most of us end up doing that. uh, we can also maintain, when we are doing data collection, we can also keep one column which states what is my energy level, let's say alpha, beta, gamma, or let's say 1 to 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I can try to correlate my dietary habits to my energy levels. For example, um, let's say my calorie consumption is 2000 in a particular day, and my energy level was, let's say, 6. On a scale of 10, it was 6. But when my calorie consumption got to 1800, my energy level was 9. So because everybody has different body types, I may end up inferring that my 1800 calorie consumption is the optimum point. right? Because my energy levels were higher. Although here there is an assumption that your energy levels are directly related to the calorie consumption, right? So whenever we extract any knowledge or any insight from the data, we should keep that in mind, that there is always a disclaimer, there's always an assumption. We should always state it before presenting it to stakeholders, or before analyzing it ourselves. uh, and some of the more insights that I can use is, again, the same things, right? The trends I can see, some correlations I can see, and based on that I can create my personalized meal plans. That uh, I want to do a gym, I want to go to the gym on a Saturday or a Sunday for 2 hours. So the day before I can have a heavy, I can go out and dine with friends or family, right? So that kind of decision making I can do. So I hope I was able to take you through this example and link it to the data science process. Similarly, please post, meanwhile, if you have any questions related to any of the topics. Similarly, related to the time management, right? I will take you through these processes quickly. So again, the data collection and the data processing, let me skip those, because I think these are pretty much understood, almost the same on every kind of the data or the topic, right? Some of the data analysis that we can do on this time management is, we can identify how much time we are allocating to each activity, and the productivity, how is it varying, right? And some of the knowledge and insights that I will end up from this data science process, after doing this data science process, is, what are the activities that I need to spend my time lesser on. For example, if you love gardening, right? And after some of the data analysis, you see that on an average you are doing gardening for 1 hour every day, and you're a student, right? So that is a whole lot of time. So that is what, see, this data collection, if you see in a way, right, this data collection is what, uh, we the smart watches, right, they help us in the data collection part, right? But this data analysis is up to us. It can analyze the data as well, but it will give you basic insights, right? uh, but you can utilize that data to give a different form of or do a different kind of analysis which is useful to you. You can also do it case to case, right? For example, a mother's data can be used in a different way, or a child's data, it can be used in a different way, right? So moving on, again, the same thing in making tea. This is more related to the perspective of our tea maker, basically, right? If you are regularly making tea at home, then this is relevant. Otherwise, I don't think this is relevant. Or you want to open a very big startup like a chai wala, right? MBA chai wala is pretty famous. He's a very talented one, I would say. These are some of the processes that you can use for the making of tea, and then grocery shopping. Let me skip this in the interest of time. Yeah. Now let's come on to our main topic, right, where we want to do some hands-on. Um, you must have heard about Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has a YouTube channel, and he has almost 300 million subscribers. And 300 million is a lot, actually, in terms of Indian counting rate. It's 30 crore subscribers are there. So that means 30 crore people are very loyal to you. Look at the amount of power he has. He can influence the society politically. He can influence it in a lot of ways, right? So let's analyze him, and let's see how we can have some insights uh, from his data, which is available publicly. But the data is till 2021, and I think the link is there in the comment section. I would recommend that you open that and download the data. Meanwhile, I'm going through some of the basics of his channel, right? So when I googled him, I found out some pretty interesting things, right? Um, he's an entrepreneur, obviously, and he has accepted this, that he uses the data. to optimize his YouTube videos and thumbnails. And this actually tells us that now data science is going to be very important, because if you want to start a business, right, then you will obviously need most of the data analysis to be done. And if you want to retain it, then definitely you have to do some amount of data science, right? And I hope most of you must be knowing Bhuvan Bum. Bhuvan Bum is an Indian YouTuber who became pretty famous. There was one video I wanted to include that video as well, but in the interest of time, didn't include. He was also saying in one of the podcasts that earlier it was the time when you used to be loyal to somebody, right? Let's say if I follow Bhuvan Bam, if I like him, I will go to his channel, and I will see his video. Now algorithm is dictating it. The viewership is being dictated by the algorithm. Think of your own self, right? What you prefer watching. For example, if you have some notifications from YouTube or from Instagram, then you will go on to that straight away. You won't go on to some channel that you've already subscribed. So that's why he was saying that now is the time of the algorithm. Instagram recommendation is based on an algorithm, and the base is obviously data science. Now let's dive on to okay, so this is a case study. Let's say there are two people, Raghu and Maruti, and they are to enter their college, right? And they have highly analytical minds. They were always, opening clocks and closing clocks and seeing how things work. So they have very analytical minds. They used to put them together without a notch, right? They want to do some project which is kind of standing out, and they want to incorporate all the data science concepts, the logical thinking and all. They once came across a news, as I told you, that Mr. Beast, he has overtaken T Series. T Series is an Indian channel which used to be the channel with most subscribers, but recently Mr. Beast overtook it. So they were puzzled by it. How does he do it? And they also came across the Google thing, right? That he uses data science. He uses data analytics. So they also want to look at their data, right? And they in their search they went to Google, and they saw the Kaggle dataset. Now this is the link for the Kaggle dataset. I recommend that all of you just have a look at that data, and try to okay try to come up with some, let's say, Raghu and Maruti, they want to recommend some things to Mr. Beast. Okay, let's say they have a channel through which they can reach up to Mr. Beast and recommend something, right? Or maybe hired by him, you never know, right? So they want to make a small project. So let's assume that you were Raghu or Maruti or somebody else, and you want to recommend something to him, right? So let's see, in our limited time, what we can do over this data of Mr. Beast. And I would say, let me give you a snapshot as well of the data. What we have in the data is the ID. This is an ID. This is just a string or a number, right? And then we have the publisher, the year in which the video was published. I think it has almost 247 rows or something, like, so that is like 247 videos. Then for each video you will have a like count. So here whatever you see is the column name, right? The actual data is this. The actual data snapshot is this. Then after that like count, you will have the comment counts, you have descriptions, view counts, and all the thumbnail details are there. Although Mr. Beast has said that he utilizes the thumbnails as well, but right now we are not diving into that. Right now we want to extract some basic level of insights from it, right? This is the snapshot of the data. For example, for the first row, what it represents is this is the ID. It's not important for now. The title is I got hunted by so and so. The description is this one. It was published in the year 2021. Then the duration is 861 seconds. View count is this is 84 million. and then you have the like counts and comment counts as well, right? So this is our data, and what we want to do from here is that I want to see how his videos are doing. How is he able to see? Apart from the content, I agree that content is the most important thing, but since YouTubers like Mr. Beast and Bhuvan Bem, they are agreeing that uh, only content doesn't play the role in increasing your viewership. The data analysis also plays a role. So that's why we are doing this exercise. The whole point, right? So let us try to let's go back to the form, the Google form that we had, and let us try to answer question number 7 to 9. The question, let me speak that aloud here as well. The question number 7 is, when did Mr. B's popularity start rising? Then the question number 8 is, that is there a correlation? Correlation in simple terms, is there a relation? Just remove the core part. Is there a relation between video duration and views? What it means um, is it okay? Do you see from the data that if it's a longer video, it has maybe lesser views, something like that? Do you have that kind of insight? And then the ninth question is, do you see any relation between video publish time and the views? Publish time is basically, if I publish it at 3 p.m., then the publish time will be 3 p.m. Otherwise, it will be, let's say 9 p.m. or 12 p.m. And interestingly, I will show you some interesting insights as well that I have tried to see from the data. But let's wait for almost 5 minutes or maybe more if you want, and then we can discuss the insights that I have. So please fill out that form if you can. Hey, so I guess some of you have filled the form. I think only two people did it, Rashmi and Soumya. But let's move ahead. Yeah. So again, in here we can see that we should apply the data science process again to extract some of the insights, right? We collected the collection and the processing. Uh, the collection is already done basically, right? The processing, some of it we may have to do. We can utilize the derived variables. We can transform some of the columns. We can do some data cleaning, and then let's see how we can do some data analysis and how we can extract some insights. Now, for my analysis, I used the columns which are highlighted in red, the published times, the duration, the seconds, and the topic categories to get some derived columns like the topic, the broader topic, the published time. I wanted to make the published time bands of 6 hours, right? 6 4 is 24. So there are four bands that I made, and then the duration in minutes. I also banded them, for example, less than 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4, and greater than 4 or greater than 5. Yes. So let's see what I got. There was one more KPI that I calculated, which is a part of the data analysis, right? I wanted to calculate the average view per video. Let me tell you what this table represents. This table is, yeah, sorry. So this table is on this column. You will see the topics. This is a derived variable, and mostly you will be seeing the topic name under the column. But I have derived this topic specifically from that column. So the topics have been lifestyle, food, hobby, adventure, game, entertainment, action, game, and so and so, right? And on this row, right, the first row, you will see the years, right? Here we have the last column, we have the grand total of that particular topic throughout the years, and in the last row we will have the grand total in that particular year, right? For example, in 2021 we have 77 million as the average view per video, right? So, okay. Now let's see what this is, just a conditional, simple conditional formatting in Excel, nothing big. The red and the green background that you see for all the cells. What green represents is more, what red represents is less, and what colorless means is kind of an average, or hovering around the average. So what we can see is that in the initial years when the channel was started in 2020, 13 and 2014, uh, at least in 13 and 14 there were no videos related to lifestyle and food, right? But now when we see in 2020 and 2021, we can see that it has more than average views per video. So we can say that one of the factors behind Mr. Beast's rising popularity was he started making videos related to lifestyles and food, right? One of the statistically correct inference that I can draw from here is that the sociology and the food videos, they have on an average a greater than uh, you know compared to this 89 million, which is the average view per video for 2020. My average view per video of videos related to lifestyle, it is 93 million. So this is definitely more. So we can say that the videos whose topic is related to lifestyle or food, they are doing better, right? So this is just one way of looking at the data, right? From the here, at least we have some level of insight regarding the topic. Now let's move on to some other analysis that I did, right. I, as I told you, I had created a derived variable for the published time. Let's say the bands that I made are 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., and 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. In this chart on the x-axis, this is the x-axis, and on this x-axis, what you see is the total number of views, right? So here we have the total number of the views, and we have tried to uh, divide it divide it based on the published time, right? So what we understand from this here is, let's say for this data point, for the first data point of the chart, the blue bar is almost hovering till 30 million. So in we can say that the view counts the view counts for videos less than for which the sorry, it's not moving. There's a pointer. Yeah, it's hanging. Give me a minute. I hope this looks fine now. Yeah. So what I will say is that for the total views less than this is 10 million, what I have is that almost 30. There were 30 uh, titles which were published between 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. So this is one of the insight. And actually, these videos were ranging between every time of the day, right? But you will see that the videos which have very high counts, they are always published between 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Isn't this wonderful?
Hey Akash, sorry to interrupt you. Your slide is not visible.
Okay, okay, sorry. Let me present again. Yeah, so we were discussing this example. I think I missed. You must have missed some of it. So from this chart, what we see is the blue bars. The blue bars are the videos which were published after 6 p.m. till 12 a.m. And what we see is that this time has a high correlation with the views that will come on a video. Whenever the video was posted between 12 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. or some other time, or 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., it has high chances of not gathering that many views. And we can correlate it with our common sense as well, maybe, right? That if you post a video, if the video is being posted after 6 p.m., there are higher chances that the working class, let's say, they have a uh, some people are traveling, maybe, right? Then they have a higher chance of watching, sharing the video to their groups and all after 6 p.m. or something. Like the students, they usually take a break after they do their dinner, and something like that. That kind of insight or an inference you can draw. But again, this is just a hypothesis, right? You can never be sure of it. Okay. So now just a question to wonder, right? Now this was something which it's a very small data set, right? Only 250 videos. What if the data was large? Now this makes us wonder how we could do it. We could not do it visually if it was very large. If there were, let's say, 100 bands, you could not see the graph and try to have some inference from it. There comes to rescue um, one of the mathematical concept, chi-square test. So now, what is chi-square test? Uh, chi-square test enables us to find if there is any relation amongst two of the independent variables, right? So let's say one of the variable here is the number of views, and one of the variable here is the published time basically, right? So both of them have one has 4 levels or one has 10 levels, let's say 10 unique values. Then I can see Pearson correlation gives me just a numerical coefficient of correlation, right? But if I want to do it in the categorical variables, I need to do a chi-square test. Either I do it visually like we did, right? But this has a limitation. It won't work if there is a large amount of data. So in that case, we do a chi-square test, right? We won't be discussing it, but just something to give you as a food for thought. This is why we need a chi-square test. The next analysis that I did was, how does the duration in minutes, how does the duration of video affects the um, views, the percentage views basically. So from here, what I inferred was, so let me just give you briefly what this table shows. On the second row, you have the duration of the video less than 1 minute, 1 to 2 minute, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and greater than 5. And on the first column you have all the years, right? On the last column you will have so this is basically the data contained here. It's for the total views, right? That's why this is summing up to 100%. And what you are saying is, among all these years, let's say the views were 100. This is the way to read this table. Let's say all the views are summing up to 100 in all these 6 to 7 years. Out of it, 20 views are coming from 2021, 27 are coming from 2020, and so on, right? So the maximum views they have come from 2019, 30%, right? Now this inner table, which is colored one, right? The way to read this is how much of the videos in 2013, let's say the third row, how much of the videos in 2013 are less than 1 minute, less than 1 to 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and so on, right? So in a way, I can say is in 2013, 20%, 25% of the views came from the videos which were less than 1 minute, and so on, right? So from here, what do we infer? That one is greater than 5 minute videos. They have, you can see that they are having greater than 90% views from the bigger videos, basically more than 5 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour, kind of like that. We could have increased this band as well from 5 to 10 minutes, 10 to 30, and so on. But as I said, right, this is just something that we have done for basic level of analysis. This can be increased. Um, so, yeah, one very important inference that we can take from here is this small portion here, the green portion that we see. The 3 to 4 minute videos, they were very popular basically, or they were driving the views in 2014 and 2015. Also in 2019 and 2020, we had a good portion of 2 to 3 minute videos. We can't see in data science, we can't neglect these 1 to 2% of the coverage, because sometimes it helps you to narrate the story better, right? uh, yeah, so I think these are the influences that you all have understood. It started getting popular in since 2018, right? Because we had only two views until 2017, only 2% views of all these years, but suddenly it rose to 20% in 2018. So the popularity started in 2018, peaked in 2019, and then maybe started declining in 2020 and 2021. We don't have the data post this, and because the views are always increasing, right? So you may never know, this may be updated now, right? Then the next analysis, kind of analysis that you could do is, what is the ratio of the like is to views, and what is the ratio of the comments is to views. I think we are running a little short of time, so I will cover them quickly, because this is something that you could do on your own. I just want to give you a push towards that side, or towards the data science part of the data, how we can use it, right? So here, what so okay, so the significance of the of liking a video is, Mr. Beast would get an idea of how is his content being liked. So let's say 3%. So out of 100 viewers that view the video, only 3 people like it, right? And out of this, this is on an average figure of all the videos posted from 2014 to 2021, right? So here what we see, let's focus on the green cells, right? 2 to 3 minute videos are the uh, are very popular ones. I mean, people are highly liking it. So on an average, 6 people out of every 100 viewers of that video, they are liking it. And surprisingly, in 2021, what happened was 4 to 5 minute videos. They also became popular. Don't know what is the reason, right? Let's see the same thing for comment is to views, right? On an average, one person out of every 1,000 viewers is commenting on the video. Liking a video and commenting on a video are both different things. Liking is also an engagement, but commenting is a different, is a, more deeper engagement with the video. So you are, the person who comments on the video is more likely to watch your video for the next, when you release it next. And what you see here is less than 1 minute of the videos, although Mr. Beast you know doesn't focus on them now. Maybe he does in the recent years, not sure of it. But these are the ones which are giving him higher engagement, right? 0.9%. So every 9 viewers out of 1,000, they are watching these videos. So, as we analyzed it, Raghu and Maruti also analyzed this, and they have also concluded the following: that Mr. Beast's popularity has seen a rise only after 2018, right? Based on these analysis, they also saw that if the video is published between 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., it has the highest probability of getting excellent number of views, right? Duration of the video less than 1 minute engages more users. They comment on it, right? And 2 to 3 minute videos, they also engage users. Basically, the level of engagement may be different, but it engages, right? So maybe Raghu and Maruti, you never know. Maybe they reach to Mr. Beast and suggest some things like that. Now, I also want to spend some time on the importance of data science in the industry, and let me cover it let me cover it quickly, right? So, this all that you see here are most of the business terms, right? And on the x-axis, basically, or on the horizontal axis, you can see the time, the past. This black line is for present, and this right line is for future, right? So back 5 to 6 years, we had business analytics, right? Business analysis. That was a very important field. We wanted, there were many businesses which were ongoing, be it India, be it USA. There were companies, they wanted their data to be analyzed. They had a lot of data, right? So there were some case studies, the business case studies which had to be made. I myself have been a part of many of them. And then they also wanted some data reports to be made from their data, how well they have been doing, right? So that they can take the decisions from here. That is why we are calling it business analysis, right? Because they want to take some business decisions from here. Then we have a very popular field. This is there, this is there in the market, right? And I think this will be the first uh, this will be the first department which will be overtaken by AI, right? So what business intelligence did was, it was reporting with visuals how you are performing, different KPIs and all. And let's say we calculated that average views per video, right? That is a KPI. So they reported that KPI with some different visuals. They created dashboards, right? Real time dashboards, Power BI, Excel dashboard, and then you may have HTML dashboards, right? Now, if we move, that business intelligence focuses on the past, the data that you already have, the sales that you've already done. They want to see how you have done with the sales. Let's say if that was that was, you wanted to utilize the data to do something for the future, right? You want to see how I can utilize it. So first thing that that is most extensively done from last, maybe I don't know when business started, right? Forecasting, sales forecasting basically, right? So I want to know how my product will sell in the future. I want to be ready for it. The businesses are growing, the supply chains are saturating, and I want to forecast better so that, uh, depending on the constraints, I can manage my business very effectively, right? Based on this data only, I can also do client retention and fraud prevention. And then the higher levels of data science are drilling operations. That is basically, we can skip that as well. Digital signal processing is a part of data analytics, but again, this is not machine learning. It has some physical concepts as well. And then the most popular field nowadays is artificial intelligence. So apart from all the processes that we have done, that the machine learning does, it also adds one component of symbolic reasoning, right? If you ask chat gpt, um, you know if you ask anything to chat gpt right now, it can't make models, but that is very highly possible, highly likely in the near future. So AI also adds its own reasoning to that question or the answer that it gives you, right? So on AI, I think we already, TFUG Ghaziabad already had a session with Jyotishko Biswas sir. I was fortunate enough to attend his session in person. So I think that's a whole other vertical which is rising in today's world, but that's not the focus topic for now. Now let's see how some businesses are impacted by the data science. The healthcare industry, we can do some predictive analytics, right? Patient care, personalized medicine, drug discovery, and all. Finance, we can use it for risk management, fraud detection, trading, and customer insights. If you go to retail, it helps us in inventory management, customer behavior, and personalized marketing. Technology, it can aid in artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? Now, business decision making, this we already discussed, right? We can take some data driven decisions. Example, if a tea vendor is there and he's using this data science process, right? So he may be able to make a decision because of the data science that he has used on his data. He obviously collected all the data. Um Innovation and problem solving. We can innovate and problem solve in a way that we can identify the new patterns and have some insights that were previously not known, right? We can solve some real life problems such as climate change analysis, transportation optimization, and social network analysis. Again, the job market and the opportunities are very high, and there is a growing demand for data scientists. So I would encourage every one of you to pick up this vertical. And through this session, I wanted to actually, that was one of the reason I wanted to highlight the importance of data science and how we can have an edge over artificial intelligence, because it is poised to overtake most of the BAU tasks soon. So I just wanted to present why going to the depth of the things is important. Then we have personalization, customer experience, some tailored experiences we can build. If a customer goes to a shop, right? Then this is already ongoing, that based on his expressions after picking up a product, the recommendation is updated by a software. So um, from here you can get an idea of how data science or how machine learning or how artificial intelligence is being used to affect the consumer behavior. Predictive analytics, we can use to predict their needs and behaviors. The final thing is, why do we need mathematics in data science? It's again the backbone of data science, right? uh, it includes stats, probability, linear algebra, and calculus. We think that we know we don't need it, we don't need to understand this, but I think this is very important to understand this, because if we don't understand this, see, we already know that there everything is in an abstract form now, and we can use it very easily. We can use most packages Anybody can build a model nowadays. A machine learning model, building it is not a big deal, but understanding it is also very important. And the level of understanding that you get after understanding the mathematics behind data science is a different kind of a thing, right? For that, you can probably enroll in some of the courses, and just slow and steady, it will win the race, right? Okay, let's move on. The stats is the descriptive and the inferential stats, the mean, median, mode. And some of the inferential stats are, how we can use the sample to estimate the population. For probability, we have predictive modeling. So predictive modeling ke liye you need probability, right? And for that you need machine most likelihood estimate, and this is a part of actually a broader term probability, right? Bayesian interference, Bayesian inference. We want to update our probability after we collect the data. That is what we called Bayesian inference, and it is actually used for the systems which are live, right? Which you want to be updated every time. Linear algebra, very important thing. The vectors and the matrices, all the information or all the data which is stored in the computer or in the program that you want, in the pandas, let's say, or some of the other libraries, they store it in a vector form inside, right? That's why we need to understand what is a vector. The principal component analysis and the singular value decomposition, they're all relying on linear algebra. We can know what PCA means, just reducing the dimensionality of a particular data set, but that's not it, right? There's a significance attached to it, or there's a mathematical component attached to it as well. Calculus, again, for you must have heard about gradient descent if people know about it. It helps us to reach up to a point where we get a maximum or a minimum. So this gradient descent is very important, and most of the advanced machine learning algorithms, they rely on gradient descent. Some of the real world applications, NLP, and then this your chat GPT Lite, it uses NLP a lot, right? So that is how it was relevant. These are some of the references that I've used, right? And thanks for chat gpt, some of the content I got from there, right? The ideas were mine, but again the content was taken, some of it was taken from there. And then again, leaving with a thought that is, there was one video that I watched which said that everything in our universe is an equation. That is the concept of neural networks, right? There is an input, there is an output, and what neural network says is that it is linked somehow, right? So neural network is trying to link it through an equation. That's why there's a hypothesis that maybe everything is an equation, right? So with this, I think uh, my content that I prepared, it's all over, and I don't think it's complete without questions. So if anybody has any questions, please post it um, on the comment, or if you received any question, Madhur, let me know.
Yes, so basically there is this question that is there any correlation of data science process with data pipelining?
Yeah, so in this presentation, so pipeline is basically connecting the inputs and the outputs that you want to use, right? How will the input come, in which format it will come, how will you try to integrate it? So basically the steps of data science, right? First will be data collection, from which are the sources from where you will collect the data. Then you have data processing, how will you process the data? Then is the data analysis part, maybe, right? You want to write, you want to calculate some KPIs from the data. That is kind of a pipeline of the data science process, right? But if you are like a bit of description, maybe from the question, if we have, I don't think there's a description, but okay. So the data pipeline would mean a bit of elaboration of those steps, right? The data collection, how do you want to do it, right? There may be some pipelines involved, that the data will come from the client to the Google Cloud bucket. From the bucket, this my SSIS server, I will get the data and integrate into my own servers, and then again some of the processing I will do in it, right? So that is what a data pipeline is. And I'm not sure whether this is related to data science, but yes, I think they are related. Whenever there is data, data science will obviously come.
Thank you so much for answering that. There is another question, that how is data science different from data analytics that people study in their third year of graduation, basically?
Okay, so I didn't study in the third year, but I'm not sure what is the contents they study. But I think data analysis and data science. If I'm still sharing my screen, let me go back to the diagram that I showed. Right.
No, your screen is not presented.
Okay, it's not visible. So basically, you can think of data science as being a little smaller than data analytics. Some processes, uh, all of the data science processes will be covered into data analytics, right? And what I would recommend is that we don't get into how that those terminologies, because in my experience these are varying company by company as well. What we need to find is we need to choose a subject in which we have to specialize, and we should be the masters of it, right? uh, you can call it data analytics the way we took out the examples from day-to-day lives, right? You can call that data analytics, you can call them related to the data science process, you can call them anything. Even you can make some advanced level of machine learning models from that data, that basic level of data. So it's all about what do you want to do. And in terms of terminologies, I would say don't restrict yourself to a definition, because this can vary for a company as well, amongst the company. So it's always subjective.
Uh, Thank you so much. If you have any more questions, guys, you can drop in the comments. I have also dropped the LinkedIn handle of Akash sir in the description, as well as in the chat, so you can go follow and connect with him there. There is also one feedback form. If you have any kind of feedback, you can fill it out. So I guess this is here. We would wrap up the session. Thank you so much, Akash sir, for joining and for an insightful session. The session will be live on, basically uploaded on YouTube, so you can share the link with your peers who might have missed it due to some time constraint and issues from our side. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming here,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for amazing session. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for attending, and hope to see you in data science soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.